Hey guys, welcome back to Intuitive Angling, and appreciate you guys tuning in for the video today. We're going to be talking about how Livescope and forward-facing sonar has turned the St. Lawrence River into a complete joke. That iconic fishery up there, Bassmaster usually always has their last tournament of the year up there, which I'm not sure why they do it every year. How boring can you get? It's turned it into a complete, it's just a joke, man. That's all you can say about it. I have gotten probably a dozen private messages today from people that said they tried to tune in to watch it. It's completely unwatchable. They're not going to sit and watch some guy bob up and down in 3-foot waves with his head glued to a screen with a spinning rod looking at something on a screen. Completely just a disgrace to what that iconic fishery is. And I'm going to explain to you guys what I mean by that in this particular tournament, why it's ruined that tournament and why it's ruined the St. Lawrence River here. Also, guys, a couple quick things before we get started. Quick reminder, you guys probably have never seen it. You've heard me talking a lot about the Bridgeford products here. Here's another one of their products here that is just unbelievable, scrumptious, guys, is these pepperoni snack sticks here. These things, great boat food. You can take them in the boat with you, shelf stable. Can't put them down, guys. I swear, they're like eating potato chips. You eat one, you'll eat the whole bag. You can pick them up in Walmart stores across the country in the grocery section, or your favorite grocery store has carries them quite a bit. If you guys want to support a company that supports the sport of bass fishing, Bridgeford Foods, guys, they are big supporters of the sport of bass fishing. So as a community, we need to stick together and to support those companies that support the sport. And also, guys, one quick reminder, 3 more days left in the sale on this Cast King ALTI bait cast reel I've been talking about. Halo Vortex braking system makes the thing almost impossible to backlash once you set it, correctly. You can cast it even without thumbing the spool. It's the world's only all titanium spool. 11 ball bearings, built for stout, super light. Use my promo code Randy10 for a 10% discount and another 10% discount for the month of August on this reel, so you can get it at 20% off right now. You will never find a reel of this quality for less than $200 like this one is with the sale. It's the one I use all the time. I'll have the Cast King link in the description of the video, so appreciate that. Okay, guys, you knew this was coming here. One of the things about it is, like, you talk about just repetitive, boring, predictable schedules. I don't understand why every August and September they go up to the St. Lawrence River. It's just like that's where they go all the time, final tournament of the year, and it's predictable about how they're going to catch them, in the in the age of forward-facing sonar. Now, let me talk to you about a little bit about how forward-facing sonar has completely ruined and just disgraced the St. Lawrence River compared to what it used to be. The St. Lawrence River is an iconic fishery. It's the very first Bassmaster tournament I fished in my career was in September of 1986 on the St. Lawrence River. September of 1985 on the St. Lawrence River. Drew Hank Parker out the first day that I started fishing, and that was the first time that I ever saw the St. Lawrence River. Now, from about 1985 all the way up until about, probably 5 years ago or maybe 10 years ago, the St. Lawrence River was like an iconic smallmouth fishery with power fishing techniques dominated. Like when you went to the St. Lawrence River, you burned a big spinnerbait, you fished a jerkbait, you fished a topwater, you could catch them on a lipless crankbait. Some guys had fished tubes and that type of stuff, but most of it was power fishing with jerkbaits, topwaters, and spinnerbaits. And it required anglers to really use a high level of skill set, not only, to catch the smallmouth like this and to find the smallmouth, but to navigate that body of water. I remember the first time I went out there, it's like I had to have a compass and a map. I had a map on my lap and a compass on my boat to navigate these offshore structures out there. It was an art form to fishing. And you got out there on these big vast flats and you had to cover lots of water with a spinnerbait and a jerkbait to finally locate these fish. And it was just complete heaven. I mean, it was just unbelievably fun when you do that. The last 2 or 3 years or 4 years now, it's been relegated to the same thing every deal. They get out there, guys, they got drop shots, they got, their jig head minnows now, forward-facing sonar. They get out there offshore, and target those little wolf packs of smallmouth over deeper water. Every single person up there has got their head glued to the screen. They got a hood on most of the time. They're bobbing up and down in waves. it is just boring as hell to watch. And you want to know why walleye fishing, walleye tournaments have never caught on, and why most people think walleye tournaments are boring? Because it's the same thing as what we're turning bass fishing into. Walleye fishing is offshore fishing. They use live bait and these down rigging rigs and Lindy rigs, and they're trolling around, and they're not casting at anything. They're just out bobbing around in open water. It is boring as watching grass grow, and that's what we have turned bass fishing into, and there's no better example of that than the St. Lawrence River. That's why nobody likes to watch that St. Lawrence River tournament. I mean, compared to somebody, that was fishing really. I mean, if you were at the St. Lawrence River right now, let's say, for example, you want to watch the Bassmasters on the St. Lawrence River. Okay, now you got option one. Option one is you see Kevin Van Dam burning a 3/4 ounce spinnerbait that far underneath the surface, cranking it as fast as he can, and seeing these smallmouth come up off these flats in 4 and 5 foot of water and clobber it. The other option you got Zell Rowland throwing a Xerospook out there over those flats, covering the water with those flats, and you're seeing these big giant smallmouth blow up on a Xerospook. Or you've got Kevin Van Dam again out there jerking the heck out of a jerkbait, catching big smallmouth. And then you've got some dude out there, some unidentified dude with a hood up, you can't tell is. He's got freaking 3 screens on the front of the boat. He's got a spinning rod, and he's got his head glued to that screen, fishing vertical underneath the boat. Now, what are you going to watch? What is what's the show that you're going to want to see? I can't think of anybody that would want to watch some guy catch him off of a video game screen. Now, here is the ultimate problem with that. We've dug into this a long time, but this is one of the overriding themes of what we're talking about here. Professional bass fishing at the top level should be tough on the pros that are there. It's the same in golf. It's like, if you're a professional golfer, guys, you play off the black tees. In other words, you play off the tee boxes that are farther back than anyone else plays from. You don't play off the ladies' tees. That's another 100 yards in front of you there. When you're using Livescope, you're on the ladies' tee. That's what you are. Don't try to sugarcoat it or anything else. If you're a Livescoper, you are participating off the ladies' tee. If you are not using Livescope and you don't have Livescope on your boat, you are participating off the black tees where the real boys and the real pros are competing from. And this is one of the things that one of the ultimately undisputable, undeniable, there's no argument against it. We have got to create a tournament environment with these pros that's harder than everybody else. And the first thing you do with that is you take away their electronics. You take away the technology that finds those fish for them. And then they're forced to get out off those big vast flats out there and locate this fish by fishing to find the fish. You pull up on a flat, you got no idea if there's a fish there. The only way that you know there's a fish there is to work your way through it and pick through a diversity of lure techniques and lures and approaches to try to figure out how to trigger that fish. It may be a topwater, it may be jerkbait, maybe crankbait, maybe a lipless bait, whatever. But if you're a forward-facing sonar fisherman, you've got your jig head minnow and you got your drop shot, and that's your game. That's exact. And you're hoping your unit doesn't break down, because if your unit breaks down, you don't have any clue how to catch one. So it is such a disgrace to the St. Lawrence River, guys. That is such an iconic fishery that if you're using forward-facing sonar on the St. Lawrence River right now, if you're one of those pros up there, I'm embarrassed for you. It's a disgrace to the history and the tradition of the St. Lawrence. It's a disgrace and a disrespect to the smallmouth bass that are in that St. Lawrence, and it's a disgrace to all the people that have come before you that did well on that body of water without forward-facing sonar. And again, guys, ultimately, it's not the pros' fault. They are being forced by Bassmaster management to use that stuff. They're going to use what they have to use to compete. So I always place the blame on Bassmaster and MLF for forcing guys to do it. So like I said, guys, don't call yourself a pro if you're using forward-facing sonar. You are on the ladies' tee. Own it. It's like, okay, I fish off the ladies' tee. I use forward-facing sonar, and I admit it. I want the easy way out. I'm not a true pro. I don't play off the black tees. I'm a ladies' tee fisherman. So Call it what it is, guys. Own it. If that's the way you want to fish, you're going to have to own that label. So we'll talk later.